Hello, everybody. It is early this month. Usually I'm known for doing these videos a little late, but I don't feel great, and so I don't feel like doing anything else. And I'm probably not going to get any more records this month because there's only a few days left, and my son's birthday is in one of those days, so that's where the money's going for the rest of this month. So I think that I think I'm safe to go ahead and do my January 2025 record haul. So what records did I pick up in the month of January in the year of our Lord 2025? Before I do that, I realized that one thing I did not do in a previous video is show you my new record crates-ish thing. I don't know what to call them exactly. Crates, sure. But for Christmas, I got these. One from my son, one from my daughter, and I'm super pleased with them. I had found them, put them in an Amazon wish list, and they were kind enough to choose them out of a bunch of stuff I put in that list to give to me. So the first one, which my regular size records are now in, is this one. All right. So, oh goodness, it's so hard to get up. Okay, so it's kind of hard. There's not a lot of space over here. I'm kind of cramped in, so that was not easy to do. One of the things that I really love about this crate, it's got a lid. It's got a little ID tag thing on it. It's got a divider that you put in. It's pretty sturdy. So I had a wooden crate that I really liked, and I wanted to get another crate that matched it, and I just could not find a crate that matched it exactly. I bought the other wooden crate at Target, could not find a crate that matched it exactly. And then I found this one, and I thought it would look good in our house. We do a lot of decorating with nautical colors, grays, whites, and blues, because we're trying to get a little love for New England up in here since my wife misses home. Saw this, liked it, and I love it even more now that I have it in the house. So this is where I keep my new records until I do this video. And also, since it's divided, I can put in the second half records that I'm pulling for, like when we have guests come over, records that I want to play while they're here, that kind of thing. Or like we're coming into Black History Month, I'm going to definitely be spending more time listening to some music by some of the great Black musicians of our time, and I'll be storing it in that second half. That'll probably be a video I do at the end of February. I'm excited to share that with you as well. But let's look at... Oh, I got to show you the other one. I'm going to move this mic ever so gently. All right, this is the other one. This is for 7 inches. Oh, there's just not a good way to show this, is there? For 7 inches. Oh, same kind of thing exactly. And that one is from my daughter. And that one actually contains all my 7 inches right now, including the new ones, which, hint, hint, I'm going to have one to show you. So really love these. I'm super glad to have them here in my home to share with you. I'm starting to get annoyed with this mic. I may have to switch to a wireless mic for future videos. I'm going to give that a shot. Anyway, okay. So let's look. The first record. Again, I just want to take a second and speak to how much I stinking love St. Marie Records. And I don't think I have my little sticker here to show you at this exact moment, but you've seen it a million times. St. Marie Records, my favorite record store here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's in Fort Worth off Chandler Drive. Highly recommend if you've never been there that you go. But Wyatt, the owner, has been so kind to me and done such a good job helping me track down, the artists that I want everything from. And so we got one record closer to having everything I need from this artist or this band because of Wyatt, and that is we picked up Death Cab for Cuties. Thank You for Today. This is 180 gram vinyl, and it's just black vinyl. There's nothing spectacular about it, and this is honestly an album that I have not heard a lot of by Death Cab for Cutie. I'm a big Death Cab for Cutie fan, but this was an era that I just didn't listen to as much. This is just not quite the aesthetic I want. Okay. Anyway, this is an album of theirs I didn't listen to as much, so I've been enjoying catching up on it. Really, like, the big single off of this, or the song that I heard ahead of time, was a song called 60 and Punk, which immediately captured my attention as someone who is a fan of punk rock. But great album. The only Death Cab album I do not have now is Kitsugi. That's the only full-length album, full-length studio album, I should say, I do not have of theirs. And I hope to rectify that either through Discogs or repress, because right now it is not available. So anyway, Death Cab for Cutie, super happy to have that, thanks to St. Marie Records. Next, I am an elementary librarian, and 3 days before we left for winter break, I left early to have like a surgery on my eye. And so when I got back to school, there were some gifts waiting for me from students, which is incredibly, incredibly kind and generous, and certainly nothing I would ever ask or expect, to have. But one of those gifts was a gift card to Target, and it covered most of the cost of this next record, so I consider this record a gift. And it is Coldplay, A Rush of Blood to the Head. I love Coldplay, and those first two albums, Coldplay and A Rush of Blood to the Head and Parachutes, both phenomenal albums. And they've recently done this 140-gram black eco record pressing. So the eco record is something that's meant to, they're trying to find a new way to press records that is environmentally friendly, that is going to help us to sustain this hobby, this habit, this love, this interest, while not destroying our environment. So I love what Coldplay is trying to do with that. So it is just black vinyl. It's nothing super exciting as far as the vinyl goes, but that eco record is really cool. Now, this record is most well known for, it's got Politic on it, it's got The Scientist, it's got Clocks, it's got Green Eyes, all of those huge songs, really great songs. If you've never heard them, I highly recommend that you give them a listen. I do not yet have Parachutes, but I hope to one day. Okay, next. One day, I decided I just wanted to go to St. Marie and look around. And it was also as the news from the wildfires was starting to break out. It was also right after we had some snow days where local stores had to close. I mean, like, a lot of stuff was closed for a couple of days, including St. Marie. And Wyatt from St. Marie really encouraged people after those snow days to get out there and get into some small stores, because those businesses, a snow day really hurts little family-owned shops because they're expecting profits from those days. So I said, I need to go do my part. And with my mind on the wildfires, I was thinking of my friend Christy G, who I had on the podcast, who is a big lover of this next band. And I did not listen to this band back in the day. But when I've listened to them, I've been like, they're right up my alley. So I said, I'm going to pick this up. So I picked up the Get Up Kids, 4 Minute Mile. And really, I was looking for a different Get Up Kids album, but this was the one that they had in stock that was one of the earlier albums. So I was like, okay, I'm totally down for it. Let's do it. This one is on like a white opaque vinyl. It's really almost more of a cream, but like a cream opaque vinyl. It's a great album. I really like it. But while I was there looking for this album, I definitely said, hey, what's the name of the album with the robots on it again? I can't remember the name of that album. And Wyatt looked it up for me. And he said, yeah, I definitely need to get that back in the shop. So, again, just how awesome they are over at St. Marie. So I picked that up. And while I was there, I also had pre-ordered Childish Gambino. This is Ada Vista. I was not aware, a while back, like kind of during COVID times, Childish Gambino released an album that was a dated album. And I don't remember the name of the date of the album. It was something like 11/23, I don't know, whatever. And I didn't listen to it a ton there was sort of some controversy about whether it was supposed to be released or not. And I didn't listen to it a ton. I just got distracted, squirrel. And so I didn't listen to it as much as I would have liked. And then I saw that Childish Gambino had released this and another album, Bando Stone. I forget the rest of the name of the album. And that these are supposedly Childish Gambino's last 2 albums. I like Childish Gambino quite a bit. I've got his other albums on vinyl, at least 3 of them, or 4 of them. So I was definitely like, I got to pick this one up. So I had pre-ordered it, was happy to pick it up. It includes the singles Time, featuring Ariana Grande, and Littlefoot Bigfoot, featuring Young. Whew, it's very dark in this room with poor eyes. Young Nudie, I think that's what it says. Again, black vinyl, so nothing spectacular as far as like colored vinyl, but I really dig it. I love the sound of it. I love Childish Gambino. I'm a fan of Donald Glover from back in the days of Community, and so highly recommend that you pick this up. I do not yet have Bando Stone, but it is on the list. So someday in the not too distant future, I hope to own it, order it. The next one's a pre-order that I placed at the end of December. So it does not count against my goal for January. But again, very happy to get this. This is an album I grew up listening to. Love, love, love this album. They keep pressing it, but they're pressing like small numbers, so I've missed it several times. So I was very happy to get this, and that is The Huntingtons High School Rock. This is a limited splatter vinyl reissue for Baltimore's pop punk legends. Masterpiece originally from 1998. Fully mastered vinyl version, including 1 bonus track and a double-sided poster insert. And limited to 500 copies on splatter vinyl. So I picked up one of these. This album is, man, I just love it. I love this album. Some great tracks on here, like Aloha It's You, and I don't know if you can, you can, the splatter is really like minor. It's mostly in the center. So there's not a ton of splatter in this, but I kind of dig it. It's subtle, and I kind of like it. So it's blue with like a yellow and kind of black splatter, or black and navy blue or something. But anyway, great album. Aloha It's You, High School Rock. They've got some great Ramones chord tracks on here. Highly recommend it. It's an album that I listened to so much as a kid. Super glad to have it now. And then I went back to St. Marie Records just to look. Oh, so what happened was, what had happened was, is that I took a half day because I had a follow-up appointment about my eye. And the appointment did not take as long as I thought it would take, which is great. And that meant I had some spare time. So I made it a mental health day. That's what I did. I was driving back home, and I was like, I need to pick up some lunch. And then I saw Velvet Taco, which I love. And so popped a Yui and went to Velvet Taco over on 7th and enjoyed that. And then on my way home, then I went home. Then I went and, you don't need to know all this. I got an oil change, and then I went to St. Marie Records. And when I went to St. Marie Records, Wyatt had picked up the other Get Up Kids album for me, which is Something to Write Home About. Yeah, for some reason I was like blanking. This is a 25th anniversary deluxe edition. It's a double LP. The second LP is all like demos and stuff like that. Can you see? Let's see. Where do we get some? You can't really see. It's kind of a smoky gray with some grays and blacks. Man, that is really not visible at all. But I think it's called actually Silver Nugget, but it does look kind of nuggety, but it looks more like, to me, like a little bit of a smoky. Great album. This is definitely their most well-known album with songs like Holiday on it. Great album. Super glad to have this. Both of these Get Up Kids albums added to the collection. Very excited. So then this one. So if I go back, my New Year's resolution was to buy only 4 albums per month, or around 4 albums per month. So I've got the Death Cab, Coldplay Was a Gift, doesn't count, Get Up Kids, Childish Gambino was a pre-order, Huntington's was a pre-order, Get Up Kids. So I think that puts me at 1. Math is hard, even just counting to 4, right? 2, 3. So I said, all right, I'm going to order this album. I'm going to order this album because I want it. Because I wanted it forever ago, and I didn't order it because I was broke at that time. I couldn't spend more money on records, and so I said, I'm going to order this album, and I got it from Burnt Toast Vinyl, Element 101, Stereo Girl. Love this. So, okay, if you grew up in the Tooth and Nail scene, Huntington's, Element 101, these are Tooth and Nail bands, right? And this is the punk scene of the 90s, maybe early 2000s. I actually don't know what year this album originally came out. I'd have to look it up, and I am not going to do that. But female-fronted pop punk band from the early 90s, or from the late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere in there. Love this album. Really hoping that Burnt Toast Vinyl does Future Plans Undecided, also by Element 101. I got this very recently. I posted about it online, and Element 101 was so kind to like and comment on that. But this is really beautiful. I don't even see. I need better lights in here, boss. Just a beautiful blue, kind of smoky color, like some darker in there. And I really, really love this album. Already listened to it. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Chrissy Verhagen was definitely like one of the coolest punk rock chicks in the Christian music scene at the time. I think if you were in the Christian music scene, you were probably like Chrissy, maybe Sydney Rentz from Morelos Forest, maybe Sherry Dupree from Isley. These were the girls that we were like, we have a cool scene, So, Lee Nash from Sixpence None the Richer. And this last one I actually got as an early Valentine's Day gift from my wife. So this is my Valentine's Day gift from her. She wanted to get it for me. I ordered it. It already came in, so I might as well show it. Another Tooth and Nail album and an unoriginal vinyl album. This is Emery, The Week's End. So this is some Screamo. It's got an embossed fishbowl up in here. And this really beautiful splatter. Look at that. Honestly, this is maybe one of the most beautiful splatters I've gotten. It's up there with the soundtrack for Solo from Mondo, and it has like a very similar kind of spacey vibe to it in a way. But if you've never listened to this album and The Question by Emery, my two favorite albums by them, really early albums. So good. I put this on and immediately it was too much for my wife, who's not a Screamo fan, but she loved me enough to buy it for me. Isn't that sweet? So that is the full-size albums, but I told you there was one 7-inch as well. I should get it. I'm reaching for it. Okay. So I've shown these before, but there is a comic series called What's the Furthest Place from Here by Matthew Rosenberg, and I know he has a middle name that's a part of his name, and I'm dropping it here. I'm sorry, I forgot it. But I have not read the series yet. The first 7 issues, at least, sold with a paired-up 7-inch record. These 7-inch records are... So the premise of the comic series is it's sort of this post-apocalyptic world, and these kids, these early 20s, whatever, are living inside this record store. And each issue comes with a 7-inch record, which has 2 artists on it, one artist on one side, one on the other, and they're covering songs by other bands. This is the one I wanted the most, and it was very hard to find, very expensive on Discogs, but it got reprinted, repressed, so I jumped on it. Now, at this point, I have 4 out of the 7. I've got 3 more to buy. And so I'm definitely looking for those. All of them got repressed, so I'm going to try and do it soon. So if you are not familiar with this, there's a website for What's the Furthest Place from Here, or you can go to a comic shop, your local comic shop, and ask for them. But and my local comic shop is usually fantastic. They've gotten me the first 3 that I have, just because they had been like resold. But they are Collected Comics in Keller, but now they're actually in like Watauga. Excuse me. A lot of talking for someone who's under the weather. You know what's good in a video? Dead time while you take a sip of your water. Anyway, so this is the one I wanted the most because it has Julian Baker on it. So this is number 7. So this is What's the Furthest Place from Here Number 7, it features Sharon Van Etten doing Hurt by Nine Inch Nails, as made famous, of course, as well by Johnny Cash. And then it's got Julian Baker doing 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins. And I love this. Love it, love it, love it. Really hope I can get those last 3 in and get the whole series, and then I'm going to read the comic series. That's the plan. I want to get all 7 before I start reading it so I can read all the way through. So, how'd I do? My goal was to get 4, pay for 4. At this time, if I include that 7-inch, I've paid for 5 this month. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 7-inch that I've gotten this month. It's a lot. It's a lot, but there were some gifts. There were some pre-orders. At this time, I have not pre-ordered anything for next month yet, but I certainly have a list of what I want, and now I have to kind of work that out and try and leave myself some space for the records that show up that you didn't expect, but you must own. So, that being said, if you like any of these records, tell me which one's your favorite, and tell me what you got that you love this month. I also want to take a minute here at the end of the video and just highlight a couple of my favorite vinyl channels. In fact, I'm just going to highlight one this time, and every time I do a video about vinyl, I'm going to highlight another vinyl channel because there are so many good ones out there, and I really encourage you to go check them out. So the one I'm going to highlight today is my favorite vinyl channel of all, which is Vinyl Reckoning. If you've never gone and watched a Vinyl Reckoning video, they are amazing. It's a husband and wife couple, recently married, but been together for a long time. I don't know if they're originally from Texas, but they definitely lived in Texas for a while, which I appreciate as a Texan. It's always nice to know things come out of Texas that don't suck. So now they're living up in the north, somewhere, I believe, Carolina or something, one of those states that's very far. And they're really fun, and they have great taste in music, very eclectic taste in music, and they're just funny, fun videos. So I encourage you to go check those out. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell everybody about me. I am growing what I'm doing as the Rudie Librarian. You're going to see more and more stuff on here about faith, as well as more videos about books, which I'd kind of gotten away from, more episodes of the podcast. I've recently spoken to several bands that I'm eager to bring on here, and I'm working on some other people that I can't wait to bring on for the podcast, which, by the way, I think is having some problems at Apple Music. I'm trying to figure that out. I'll get back to it. But it's still available on Spotify, and it's available on here. So that being said, have a wonderful day, and see you later.